This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Ensure that the vehicle is parked on a level surface. Residual fuel pressure always remains in the fuel system long after the engine has been switched off. This pressure must be relieved in a controlled manner before work can commence on any component in the fuel system. Disconnect the negative battery cable before continuing. The battery is located at the rear of the engine compartment, under the bulkhead. Slide the plastic cover in the direction of the arrows, then lift it out to gain access to the negative battery terminal. Loosen the clamp nut, then disconnect the battery negative lead from the terminal. Open the tailgate and position the rear seats as far forward as possible. Remove the carpeting from the luggage compartment. Remove the access trim panel from the load space floor. Slacken and remove the access hatch screws and lift the hatch away from the floor pan. Unplug the wiring connector from the pump/sender unit. Disconnect the fuel supply and return hoses. Place rags beneath the fuel hoses to catch spilt fuel. Identify each hose for position. Note the location of the arrows and support ring, then unscrew the plastic ring securing the pump/sender unit in the tank. VW technicians use a special tool to unscrew the ring. However, two screwdrivers engaged with the slots in the ring and crossed over each other may be used with success. Alternatively, use a pair of large water pump pliers to loosen the plastic ring. Pull out the flange and seal from the fuel tank aperture. Squeeze the ferrule and pull the fuel return pipe from the bottom of the flange. Disconnect the fuel gauge sender wiring and release it from the inside of the flange. Turn the inner section of the baffle housing anti-clockwise approximately 15 degrees. Then lift out the fuel pump together with the inner section of the baffle housing. VW technicians use a special tool which engages the cutouts in the top of the fuel pump, and it is recommended that this tool is obtained if at all possible. It may be possible to use an alternative tool, however the plastic is quite flexible and may be broken easily. If the fuel pump is to be renewed, drain all fuel from the old unit. The flange may be removed from the fuel pump if necessary by loosening the clip and disconnecting the intermediate supply pipe. However, note the fitted position of the pipe to ensure correct refitting to the new pump. To remove the fuel gauge sender, reach inside the fuel tank and depress the retaining tab on the side of the baffle housing. Carefully lift out the sender. Inspect the float on the sender unit's swinging arm for punctures and fuel ingress and renew it if it appears damaged. Inspect the sender unit wiper and track. Clean off any dirt and debris that may have accumulated and look for breaks in the track. Renew the rubber seal from the fuel tank aperture. Insert the fuel gauge sender in the baffle housing and press it down until it engages the retaining clip. If the flange was removed from the fuel pump, reconnect the intermediate supply pipe and tighten the clip. Be sure to position the pipe in the correct direction. Insert the fuel pump and inner baffle housing in the outer baffle housing so that the notch in the upper edge is aligned with the first mark on the housing. Push the fuel pump / housing down and turn it clockwise until it is aligned with the second mark on the housing. Smear the new rubber seal with clean fuel, then locate it on the flange. Attach the fuel gauge sender wiring to the inside of the flange and reconnect it to the bottom of the flange. The wiring must be wrapped once around the fuel return pipe. Reconnect the fuel return pipe to the bottom of the flange. Refit the flange to the tank aperture in the correct orientation. Screw on and tighten the plastic ring. To ensure the alignment arrows are opposite each other when the ring is fully tight, turn the flange slightly anti-clockwise whilst the ring is being tightened. Reconnect the fuel supply and return hoses to the noted locations. Reconnect the wiring connector to the pump / sender unit. Clean up any fuel that wasn't absorbed by the rags and dispose of the fuel-soaked rags properly. Refit the access hatch and tighten the screws. Refit the trim panel to the load space floor. Refit the luggage compartment carpeting. Reconnect the battery negative lead to the terminal and tighten the clamp nut. Refit the plastic cover and slide it securely into place. Reactivate the radio by inserting the security code. Start the engine, noting that there may be a delay as the system repressurizes. Check for normal fuel pump and fuel gauge sender unit operation.